Hello, Steve Sipress here, and I'm shooting this short video to help you with the 5 keys to getting the most benefit out of belonging to a mastermind group. So first of all, congratulations if you are a member of a mastermind group, a great group that has a great bunch of people and an excellent facilitator. Congratulations for you. I'm sure you're also in more than one of those groups, as you well should be, as I am, and most top performing people I know all are, and hopefully you are. If you're not in any kind of a mastermind group at all, well then of course this video is not for you. My advice is of course to find one or ideally more than one high-level mastermind groups with a great group of people that it has an excellent facilitator, and then you can use these 5 keys to get the most benefit out of belonging to a mastermind group or more mastermind groups than just one, and to make a lot of money with it and have a lot of fun, and hopefully you find a group that even guarantees that you make a lot of money with it, like my personal group, where I guarantee everyone who participates will make at least 10 times back their investment to join a group in the course of a year, or else I give double their money back. So I have a fantastic group myself. But a little more about why I am going to speak and teach about this topic here is because I have been a member of some very high-level, fantastic mastermind group situations. I have participated myself in multiple-day masterminds led by Dan Kennedy and Bill Glazer. I've masterminded with top entrepreneurs like Tim Ferriss and Joe Polish, Rich Schefrin, Perry Marshall, Brendan Burchard, on and on and on and on. So I am not just in some ivory tower here talking the talk, but I'm walking the talk. I'm always a member of more than one high-level mastermind group, and I have run my own mastermind groups over the past 8 years with well over 100 successful entrepreneurs and small business owners of all different types in there, and have some phenomenal success stories. But I've also seen some colossal failures, and that's why I've decided to record this video to help you out, so you have success and not failure, and that you get the most benefit out of belonging to a mastermind group. So without further ado, key number 1 is to participate. I'm well known to have a big sign in the front of my room at all my events, because people are always saying, oh, I got a lot of good ideas. Well, in a mastermind group, you're going to get plenty of good ideas. So you'll have no shortage of that, of course, unless you're in a really bad group with a really bad facilitator, or in no group at all. So I have a sign, because I'm fond of saying all the time and reminding people that ideas make you feel good, but only action makes you money. And the action that you need to take when you are a member of a mastermind group is to participate. So that can take all different forms depending on how your group masterminds together. That can be getting on group phone calls, and of course attending live events, coming early, staying late, having meals with people, and getting together if you're flying in, the night before, or taking that. I've made some fantastic connections just taking a shared cab to the airport after an event with somebody I hadn't gotten to in depth at the event, and things sprang from that. So participate, and if there's online forums, get in there, post things, respond to things. Don't just sit there and like my group uses a private Facebook group for a forum. You can just click a like button all the time or do nothing and just kind of read things or check in there once in a while. But you're going to get the most value if you participate, if you check in often, and you're not only reading but you're posting your own stuff. And what I mean by that is sharing step by step as you go through things that you're doing in your business. So I've seen people, there's all different reasons to join a mastermind group. I've seen people do what I consider make a big mistake, which is treat the mastermind group solely as a showing off forum, and they come to the group at every single event or in an online forum and just show all the stuff they did and share their great results and get a nice round of applause and accolades from everybody about how great they are. And of course that's great, and that's one way you want to participate. Share what you did, of course, and your results. But this person in particular, there's more than one that I've seen do this mistake, would not share any of the steps along the way. Once in a while, when they would get some great feedback from myself and other members in the group, and they'd acknowledge that that was great feedback and say, wow, I'm going to make these changes before I actually take action on this next one and send out that piece of mail or post that video or put up that sales page or whatever it is they're doing. So my advice is to do what I like to do, is to post every step of the way from, hey, I'm thinking about doing this, to here's my preliminary action on it, here's an outline on it, or here's my rough draft of it, what do you think, and get feedback all along the way, and then say, here's my first step, and here's the next step, and then I'm thinking of doing this, what do you think? Oh, and people will say, if you're in the right group, again, you'll have real successful people in there, and an excellent facilitator. They're going to help you to say, well, I've actually done it that way in the past, and it didn't work as well, but when I tweaked it this way, it worked better, or I found that did work well in the past, but today, right now, that's not what's working best. What's working best is this. Or I've worked specifically with the exact who that you're looking to work with, and they like things this way. Or, oh no, there's all kinds of great feedback you can get all along the way. And then, of course, share your results and post your final things. So take lots of action. Okay, key number 2 to getting the most benefit out of belonging to a mastermind group is to be open. Be open-minded. You join the mastermind group, so congratulations. You come there hoping to get some new ideas, to meet some new people, to see some new ways of doing things. Again, when these all work together, so when you participate and you share all your steps away, be open to constructive criticism. Sometimes people are going to not so elegantly criticize. They're just going to say, hey, I think that sucks. I mean, I can tell you my first mastermind experience, I went to my very first meeting, and I had brought a sales letter, my very first sales letter that I'd gone through, the Ultimate Sales Letter book by Dan Kennedy, and thought that I had followed all his advice step by step by step and did everything right and put it all together. And I drove over to the mastermind group and had copies for everybody and couldn't wait till everyone looked at it and gave me their feedback, and I was sure I'm going to get all these great pats on the back about what a fantastic job I did, and it's incredible, and I did it step by step just like you should, and this is going to be great. And instead, as you can imagine from the way I'm telling the story, that's not at all what happened. Immediately, I just saw a shaking of heads and kind of chuckling, and pens came out, and big X marks, and whole pages were X'd out, and grumblings of like, this paragraph sucks, and you got to get rid of all that, and this is in the wrong place, move this up, get this out of here. And I was devastated. I was blown away. But thankfully, I just said, thank you all for your input. I drove home in a different mindset than I had driven to the event. However, when I thought about it, I was like, you know what? That did save me a lot of money of printing these up and mailing them out and the stamps and then waiting a few days and having my phone not ring at all and wasting all that time and money and possibly feeling that I would never even try it again because it must not work because I thought I did it all right. So knowing now that I had messed it all up allowed me to go back into the book, examine things more carefully, and the best part about it is I knew I could bring it back, which I did, my next draft to my mastermind group, and this time, yeah, they were like, oh, this is much better, but you still ought to do this and that and this and that, and a couple of tweaks, and that thing went out, and boom, phone ringing off the hook, and I was sold forever. So I tell that story, not to toot my own horn about how fantastic results I got, but just that I was open to the criticism, said thank you very much for the feedback, took action, participated based on the advice I was getting, and lo and behold, I got the most out of that mastermind group experience. So be open to new ideas, be open to meeting new people and hearing feedback that you might not hear anywhere else. That's why you're in a mastermind group. It's the collective power of those different minds that hopefully you didn't come into a group hoping everyone's just going to agree or say you're the best or be a yes person or just give you accolades and golf claps all day long. I can suggest some other ways to do that other than joining a high-functioning mastermind group. Okay, key number 3 to getting the most benefit out of belonging to a mastermind group is to look to connect with people. And notice I don't say to network because that's just, I can't stand the whole thought of networking. It just conjures up thoughts of people handing out business cards and pitching their stuff to everybody whether they want it or not, and trying to look at everybody like they got a big target on them, like they're a prospect and they should buy your stuff and all that kind of nonsense. I'm talking about connecting, building relationships. I mean, I've made connections in mastermind groups that I've been in with people that I then saw again and again, or at further mastermind groups, or connect with over the phone later, which I suggest you do all these things. You connect in person, you connect over the phone, you connect via email, text message, Facebook message, tweets, whatever it is, whatever way you, or more importantly, whatever way the other person likes to connect, is how you ought to connect with people. I mean, back in the old days, I'd be making them a pen pal and writing letters back and forth. I mean, any way you can connect, though. Don't just participate in all the group experiences. Build relationships with the individuals in the group. You'll be amazed what can come out of that. Sometimes not right away, sometimes a year later. But I've made lifelong friends and connections that have enriched my life as a whole, but certainly made me a whole ton of money by focusing on connecting with people in a real way when I'm in a mastermind group situation. That means certainly a live event. I'm not sitting there tweeting on my phone or text messaging, which I see people do, especially on breaks. They're like, "Oh, good, a break. Now I can check my Facebook account," or something like that. I'm like, "You're kidding me." The quote break from any live event is actually when the juiciest part of the event starts. It's your opportunity to connect with people on the break, outside of the structured whatever's going on. This is when you can really make those connections. Again, lunches, snacks, breaks. Don't be the person who runs to make a phone call or check your email or text message or whatever when there's a quote break. That's your opportunity to make a beeline for somebody that said something in the group, or there's something in their bio, or somebody said something, or you just want to reach out to somebody, which I suggest you do all that stuff. I, as with many very successful business people that I know, are introverts, so this doesn't come easy for me. It was helped by me going into a 9-year career of door-to-door sales. I knew the first day that I saw this and said I would never do that, that someone somewhere was telling me I needed to do this. I needed to learn how to connect with people because that's not my nature to do. So 300 and whatever days a year that I'm not at live events with people, I like to be like I am now, just hanging out by my pool, just by myself, getting some work done. Or connecting with people. That's the once in a while connections of, look, an email back and forth or a phone call came in. But, man, I go to a live event, I'm on nonstop for days. I'm showing up early, I'm staying late, I'm hanging out at all the breaks and all the lunches and anywhere I can get to connect with people. In fact, I am well known, as many top entrepreneurs, and hopefully if you're listening to this, you are also, that when you attend a live event, I almost never even go into the room to see any of the speakers. I know I can probably see their presentations that they give on YouTube somewhere. I can buy the DVDs and the recordings of the event, almost undoubtedly, most events. I can, get the stuff that was going on in the rooms, but I'm going to be at the booths where all the top people are, and in the speaker rooms and in the hallways and anywhere I can really connect with as many people as I can. And I mean that in the true sense of the word, to connect with as many people as you can. Okay, point number 4, key number 4 to getting the most benefit out of belonging to a mastermind group is to always look for leverage. Look for ways to leverage your time, leverage your money that you're paying to participate in a group, because I have been in plenty of groups where there's a no or a low investment, and if they last at all past the first or second meeting, or with a poor or no facilitator, I mean, these things just sounds all great. I wish it would work, but it doesn't work great. So look for leverage. You invested your money, you invested your time to be there. Look for ways, and the best mastermind groups of all are the ones where everyone's doing that. Everyone's coming into the group saying, look, I know I had to write a check to somebody, I had to pay an ante to the facilitator to get into this room, but I'm here to make 10, 20, 50, 100 times my investment. Again, a group like mine, I guarantee a 10 to 1 return on investment. But everyone ought to be looking for that and looking to get that anyway, 10 times or more value out of being in the group. So what a great group it is if everyone's in the group saying, yeah, I had to pay an ante to get in here, of course, but there's no way I'm going to end up at the end of, in my case, it's you participate for 1 year, I guarantee you 10 times your investment. Nobody should say, gee, at the end of that 1 year, I'll have paid X amount to get into this group. That's absolute lunacy. At the end of a year, you'll have made 10, 20, 30, 50, 100, whatever times your investment in the group. And what a great room that is to be in, whether it's a virtual room in an online forum, or whether it's over a phone call, or it's in person, or it's through emails, or text messaging, or whatever you're doing. If everyone's always looking for that leverage, hey, how can I give value to your list of prospects and customers and clients? Is there something I can do to give value to them? Again, it's a marketing 101 that hopefully if you're listening to this, you're in a high-end mastermind group, and you don't need me to tell you that you always want to give away your very best stuff. If you're own a bakery and you're giving samples, hopefully you don't say, here's some crappy cookies. These are the worst cookies we make. Let's give those as the free sample. It just sounds lunacy. No one would do that. They'd say, these are our very best tasting cookies. Let's break a few of these up into pieces and put them out as samples. People say, oh my goodness, if this is the stuff they give away for free, their stuff must be fantastic. And of course the same goes for information. So many people want to hold their information close to the vest, especially, I've seen it in mastermind groups. What a mistake. They come in saying, well, I'm not going to share from the group, or they think, nobody's going to want to share with me, and I see all those mistakes. People, again, if you're in the mastermind group for the right reason, you're looking to give away your advice, your energy, your time, your input to other people. So leverage would be beyond a one-on-one phone call with somebody. Ask them, how can I help people that you know? That's going to end up possibly having you on a webinar to their list, or a teleseminar, or it'll just get you outright referrals, and they'll say, hey, I got someone I got to introduce you to. Joint ventures, where you say, together we ought to do a webinar, or we ought to host an event, or we ought to put out a free report together, or record a video, or do an audio, or put a product together. I've had all these happen as a result of participating in high-end mastermind groups with excellent facilitators. I've had all those kind of leverage things happen, and so much more. So if everyone in the group is looking for leverage, that's about the most exciting place you're ever going to be. Again, whether it's in person or on the phone or on an internet forum or whatever it is, always be looking for, how can I give value, because I'm going to get a lot more value back. Okay, my fifth and final key to getting the most benefit out of belonging to a mastermind group is to think ROI. That goes along with what we just said, and I've said it over and over, but you always want to be thinking about that return on investment, return for your time, return for your energy, return for your ante to get in the game, the fee you paid to be in the mastermind, or the airfare of the hotel if you're flying around to the live meetings of the mastermind group. This is all an investment you're making, most of all your time, your hour out of your week every week, because you put the group phone call on your calendar as important as any other appointment, and you will not miss it. You're investing that hour that I know you could be making $300 an hour helping out a client or something else. So you're going to think ROI all the time. How can I get the most return on my investment out of this group? Again, if you're in a group like mine where I guarantee a 10-to-1 ROI, you want to say, I don't want to do the minimum and just get a 10-to-1 ROI. The heck with that. I'm going to get 20. I'm going to get 30. I'm going to get 50. So when you hit 10, which in my group happens usually extremely quickly, you could just sit there and say, well, for the next 11 months, I guess I don't have to do anything now. But that's not thinking ROI. Thinking more ROI is saying, man, if that's how much I got right away, I got to make sure that I connect with some more people here, that I get to some more of the live meetings and I don't miss a single one, that I get on all the group calls, that I'm constantly posting and responding and getting feedback and giving feedback in an online forum, and I'm connecting one-on-one with people. I had someone in my mastermind group the other day say, yeah, you know what, I'm going to make it a goal now. I'm going to connect one-on-one with a new person every single week in this group. I mean, at the end of a year, that's 52 connections. Maybe you could connect with the same person for 2 weeks in a row at some point, a little more in-depth. So that's still 26 a little more in-depth connections, and who knows what comes from all that. So if the whole group is always thinking, most especially you, because you're responsible to yourself, right? You're always thinking ROI. How can I give the most? Because that's how I'm going to get the most back. So those are my 5 keys to getting the most benefit out of belonging to a mastermind group. How did I do? Good, bad? If you think there are some more keys that are better than these, or should be included, or some that should be taken out, or whatever you think, I'd love to hear your feedback. if you want some one-on-one help with the mastermind group that you're in and a particular problem you're having and how to get over it, I might be able to help. You can go to helpfromsteve.com. We'll get on the phone and chat, and hopefully I can give you whatever help I can give. That's something I enjoy. I can't do with everybody that sees this video, of course. My time is limited, but I enjoy that, so I like to, I always budget some of my time to be responding to requests for help from people. So if that's you, go there to helpfromsteve.com, and I'll take any feedback you can give me. This is the worst video ever. It's the best video ever. It's in between. It's this, that. You should have done this. You shouldn't have done that. Lay it on me. I love the power of the mastermind, and I will always take suggestions from all different sources. So I hope this helped you. I know it helped me just to even put my notes together. It reminds me for the mastermind groups there are in to continue to focus on these 5 keys so that I get the most value out of them. Hopefully you do as well.